Oh boy, 002 caught me like totally off guard. I didn't see him before the race, so I didn't know if he was even here. And he shows up on a new bike. Oh my god. There's Booster. What up, bud? Oh boy. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, no electric start, so yeah, mid to 70% back in the pack. And take me 3 races to finally slow down a little bit in the beginning of the race. It definitely changed around this track from the last time I've been here. Yeah, every turn around the corner was like, oh, I'm going this way now, going that way now, which from the top of my head, I think I have not been here since I looped out my 300 whenever I jumped over a jump and just gave it a little bit extra throttle right at the top, and the bike was about straight up and down, and I didn't think I was going to save it, so I jumped off the back. Superman off the back. Oh, but I'll tell you what, weather today, perfect. Mid-60s and sunny. Could not ask for anything better, in my opinion. And I was looking at the weather, and there's like maybe like a 60 or 80% chance of rain the day after, so we might have just missed it by a whole day. I think we had about maybe about 27 people, mid-20s in the C class, 35 and older. And I was talking big smack about jumping, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I was still feeling out the bike. This is the first real trial of my 2008 KTM 200 to this frame is a 2013 XCW. So this is the first time actually like getting out on a motocross track. So I wasn't going to be hitting the jumps too crazy from the start. And even at that, by the end of the race, when I was feeling comfortable, I still wasn't pushing that speed that much. Got to really get back on the horse. I freaking crashed a couple times, and it really took some of the adventure out of me with that stuff. But oh yeah, look at that. I don't know what I hit there. It was like a slick, soupy mess and just whoop. And of course, I'd already be on my other bike, electric start, freaking going. Meanwhile, it looks like I got freaking row 13 and 14 ahead of me. But it is what it is. I always know when I'm in Schitt's Creek whenever I see Taylor from the girls' class pass me. That's when I'm like, oh boy. They're, I think they're row 15, so definitely like a whole minute behind me. But as far as track conditions, oh man, just great. They watered down the track in one or two spots a little heavy, but I mean, it's better than some sandy spots because I did hit some sand here and there, and 200, man, I was pushing it. I was pushing it, trying to stay straight and make it up. This is oh, I think that might be Taylor. Maybe, I don't know. Hard to see. I know she's on a YZ now. Or I should say a 2-stroke YZ. But, yeah, track was great. Oh, loved it. I always have a good time going out to Portland. And a really big thing compared to the last time I was in Portland, something with the way we started and went into the woods, not too much after being on the motocross track for a minute. There was a big backup the last time I was here, so like if you were pushing hard through all this motocross stuff, getting that lead, and then you got into the woods, next thing you know, you just lost everything. So I just remember doing the choo-choo train through the wood section, and this time, no problem at all. Just kept going. Flowed really nice. Plenty of flow. tell you what, oh my gosh, I had a Honda Needle whenever I bought this bike, and power's kind of linear. It's just never really had that two-stroke YZ on the pipe kind of feel to me whenever I raced it for the first 2 years. And then I got the JD jetting kit because I had bent the Needle, and it's discontinued, and of course no one had it. So I got the JD jetting kit, and as soon as I got the power valve and everything, you know, running good, I was like, oh my gosh, this bike is ripping. It never ripped like this before. I definitely know that. So I was maybe a little throttle happy through some of this first lap or two, just gassing it freaking as hard, just staying on that pipe freaking wow, ringing it out. Oh man, it was fun. But I also put an SX gas tank on the bike, and I think it's like 2 gallons, so I was a little bit worried about running out of gas. So I did, you know, I topped off all the way before the race, and I thought I was going to make it the whole race, so I stopped in after maybe about 4 laps or so, and put in like another gallon of gas really quick. There we go. A little slow on the corners, but you know what? I just feel good this race. Honestly, I think the 200 is like the perfect power for me. I know Steve always forgets, razzes me like, yeah, ever since you got that 300, you're slower and this and that. And yeah, you know what? That 300 is a handful. I got the green spring, which is like the most lamest spring you can put in it, and a throttle tamer. And I still run into, like, if I'm in that power band and I hit the gas wrong, you end up in a tree quicker than you can even blink. So the 200 does give me some leeway. I should have had a little bit more of throttle play in the throttle, because I had it all adjusted in as far as it could go. But whenever I was going over a couple spots, I did find myself hitting the throttle just a little bit too much. So I might have to look and see what other options I can have to be able to get a little bit more adjustment out of it, because I like just, you know, like just a couple mils of throttle play in there. That way when I'm jerking a little bit here and there, I'm not freaking gonna whiskey throttle it. Speaking of Steve Buzzard, he did not make it out to the race. Jack had a nice little Halloween party, and I guess Steve was like, yeah, I'm not racing tomorrow. But Jack did show up, so boop boop, good to you. Threw a Halloween party, made it to the race the next day. You know, that's can never be all too fun. I was even surprised to see Dougie Z. He had a little thing he went to over the weekend, so I was happy to see him. Boy, I'll tell you what, up north fall colors, full effect. Oh, this is looking good. I am recording on the GoPro 9. But I didn't turn on the like the horizon stability control, because I kind of want, if I'm turning, I want you to feel it. I don't want it to be hyper smooth where it just looks like I'm floating down the trail and it's just too smooth. This was to me, a halfway choppy course in some areas, and for that, I am glad I had the 200 suspension on, because this is a WP open chamber setup that was done by MX Tech, and ever since I got on the bike, I was like, oh my gosh, I love the suspension. So there was, I think a lot of the chop was coming from old race paths that they changed the course and were running over like the old rutted down stuff. So you had some like pretty decent chop that went down, and you were hitting it hard if you had some speed to it. So I was trying to speed somewhat. And speaking of suspension, I got coming my way a Creft Moto revalve control forks and a revalve shock for my 2018 KTM. So I've been kind of hunting for a while on what should I do, and I kind of leaned boiled it down to two different things: Craft Moto revalve control, or the MX Tech Lucky inserts. And I was actually going to go with the Lucky inserts. I did talk with Craft Moto last week, and you know, they're really good guys and had a lot of good stuff and good information. Definitely very professional. But I don't know. I was torn between the two. The Lucky insert's got a hawk valve in it. It's supposed to really help out, and revalve control, I felt like I could kind of fine-tune where I like, and even if I do get quicker and need to tighten things up, I can tighten it up. So, well, I ended up winning an eBay auction for that suspension setup, and I probably pretty much bought that whole setup for what people were asking for, just a set of Explorer forks, the WP ones. So, yay, yay for me. You gotta win sometimes. Nice, nice, nice. I felt like I was mostly kind of racing by myself though, because like that one little fall in the beginning, it took me a little bit to get up compared to normal, like, you know, like get everything back going and get going. And so I was kind of like picking out some of these scragglers here and there and stuff like that, and I just never really caught back up to my class. So kind of a shame. I was really surprised when I seen Booster come up like behind me. I was like, oh my gosh, Booster's lapping me? Oh my god, I must be doing horrible. And then I talked to Dave Palmer after the race, and he was like, yeah, I seen Booster. He was sitting and eating some gummy bears out of his snack pack. No, I'm joking. But he was taking a break for a second. Booster is teasing me a little bit. I decided to change out my Fly hydration pack that has a chest protector in it, and just put on a Fox airframe that I've had, which is the one that I originally bought for Hare Scramble Racing. I never liked the way that a hydration pack, like a backpack one, fitted on it. It just did not feel right. I don't know, it felt like I was a turtle and I was trying to put on a backpack. So I used it around up north and stuff that I didn't need a hydration pack. And then I went and was watching a video, and I seen a couple guys with the waist one on. And I was like, oh, you know what? I can use the Fox airframe with the waist one, and let me see how I like it. So this was the first race of trying it. I also wearing a neck brace now, because you know, pony down, it likes to go down. So I've rolled my neck at least 2 good times now, and I got some pinch that goes from freaking the base of my skull down to my shoulder blade area. So definitely don't need to be rolling it a 3rd time. And speaking of falling, Dave Palmer freaking a lap and a half into the race, smack. I think he said he washed out the front end on his bike, and he's like, first thing that hit the ground was my head. And I'm like, oh boy. Because I've never hit my head that hard out of all the years I raced motocross. So I was like, oh boy. Double oh boy. And shoot, even Jason crashed down. I forget what he hit something. I don't know if he hit a pine tree. I mean, he hit something. I forget what it was. He came back looking rough too. He said he had an indent in his head from whatever he hit his helmet. I would say, for me personally, this pine tree section was my least favorite part of the whole track. It is so funny because, like, everyone has, you know, like, something that they might like more than others. And for me, this was the one that I didn't like as much. Booster came back and he was like, oh my god, I love that pine tree section. He's like, oh, I loved it. I was like, really? Not me. But, I don't know. It was alright. I don't think anything else exciting that happened during the race. You know what? Compared to some of the last couple races, and like especially Evergreen, I didn't see many people crashed out, overheating, you know, all that kind of stuff. Because, like I said, track flowed. So if you're going and you're fluids and everything was where they should be, then you should have been doing fine. I did like this section over here. I was trying to stand up more during this race. I don't know what it is. All the years I rode BMX, I always stood up, but when I get to dirt bike riding, I sit down a lot, like way more than I should. Only time I mostly stand up is like jumping, going over really gnarly, choppy stuff. But like this stuff, sitting down. Well, I got a all foam Cerbis seat for this bike. It is hard, way hard. So about midway through this race, inside my thighs and my butt, literally felt like I was sitting on a 2x6 the whole race. I was like, oh my god. When I finished the race, I think that was like the sorest part of my body. I was like, oh my god. But you know what? I remember hearing, I think I watched a video when they were talking about some motocross trainer. Like, yeah, he'll take your seat off your bike for, you know, the first couple something. That way you're not ever, you know, really sitting down on the seat. And I always keep that in the back of my head. So I guess having a hard seat should kind of force me to want to stand up more. Just have to get that comfort there. Oh, so my 300 has the counterbalanced motor. 2017 and newer 250s and 300s have counterbalanced motor. And, you know, when I got the bike, I didn't really think that it felt too much different. And even at that, I still put on the Mako 360 just a couple races ago to help with vibrations even more. And I get on the 200, and when I rev that engine, I'm like, oh, I can really feel those vibrations. So my hands were shot by the end of this race. The vibrations were crazy. And I even thought to myself, I wonder if I should whip off the Mako really quick and put it on this bike so that I can kill down the vibrations. There's a tricky little corner here. You went down, the outside line was really deep and wooded out, and you just had to make sure you're in the right gear and tool right back up. But yeah, so, oh my gosh, even when I woke up this morning, I still felt like pins and needles on my hands. I was like, yep, that bad boy was vibrating like no other business. Still going on lap number 1. So here's a format for today's race with this video. We're gonna do one full lap, and then I just kind of like thumb through other parts of my camera footage to, you know, whip out some clips here and there. So as soon as we hit the one lap, I'm gonna go and put in some clips, get to see some other riders, either pulling fast by me, going down, getting stuck, you know, whatever they had going on. If it looked exciting, I was throwing in the video. I like this section. This wood section flowed a little bit better than what I remember, but I think it also could have to do with when there's a backup. You know, say someone falls and people really can't get around, then everyone starts bunching up, and then next thing you know, it's like a new added thing coming up here, I think. Nope, after this, is they had these huge freaking tires, like tractor tires, all down on the ground, little obstacle course. I could definitely imagine if someone was to hit that, might send you flying in a couple different directions. So I was going through with a decent amount of speed, you know, my speed, and but I was definitely hoping I wasn't gonna peg one of those because they were almost like handlebar height. So if you were gonna hit something, it was gonna be up in the handlebar area, at least where I thought I would end up hitting. Yeah, it's see where the top of the tires are? They're just about perfect for handlebar. Hit that bad boy and go flying. And I did hit the enduro course every lap, so this one right here is pretty tame, I guess, compared to some other clubs that do the races. I would say, if I had to rate, I would say Battle Creek is probably like the most technical, followed by Polka Dots, and then I guess here, because I think a couple other places really don't have much race. But I definitely love a good enduro section. I think that is something that I enjoy riding. Might not be someone else's forte, but I'll tell you what, at Battle Creek, that wood area, those chopped pieces of wood, that really kicked my butt. I didn't have that good flow going right through it, and that was my first time ever hitting a log section like that. So, I don't know, it's interesting. And of course I fell that race, so throughout the race after that, I don't know, it's hard getting your mind back in the game kind of thing. Ooh, 21 minutes. If you made it here, 21 minutes into the video, then kudos to you, because sometimes I got a short attention span. I can watch the most badass freaking Graham Jarvis, Cody Webb video, and there's no talking. It's just watching, just riding, watching them rip. I just lose my focus. I say maybe like Harrisburg is like one of the videos that I can watch race footage from, because all the different trains and spots. But some of the other stuff, motocross and other things, I just kind of like, I started losing my interest. Not that it's, a bad video or bad riding. I like commentary. That's why I do commentary videos. Obviously, hopefully you guys know Zach Attack. He's freaking good. Steve puts out commentary. I think, what's his name? Noah. I can't think of his last name right now. He's a freaking neuro engineering writer guy. Noah Clark. He does some commentary, so he's fast and does commentary, so that's like, really good. I like hearing what's going on with the race and little story stuff. Kyle Ward's been putting out some videos. If you guys have not checked out his videos, he don't do commentary, but he's a badass rider. He's a d14 rider, so he posted up something with his video. He said that he got second place in his class, which I believe he might be an A or AA rider, and second overall. I was like, whoa! Which scoring did get messed up from what they said over the PA. Deck sent me over some photos that I got at the end of the race. Oh, so here we go. That was first lap. But anyways, yeah, Deck sent me over some photos of what they posted. They said there still might even be some disputes and stuff over that stuff. So, they showed that I got 17th out of, like, I think 27. There's 4 DNFs in this race, which I was kind of surprised, because, like, Evergreen, I can imagine someone doing one lap and being like, oh man, this place is crazy, I'm done. And but Battle Creek wasn't that bad, so unless you're having bike issues or hurt yourself, I guess that is always a possibility. This was sandy right here, man. I was usually gunning it up pretty good. And that sandy turn. For some reason I wasn't expecting the sand. I think this particular area, I do remember Portland having like this long, like straightaway to a right-hand turn, and just sand all the way up that, going to where that log crossing was. But we didn't go that way, and I think they might have changed something a little bit. Here we go. I'm surprised I left this big log there. Not that much excitement going on. Every now and then I get going with clips, and I I might forget to delete something out. Now, I probably would have left this one right here because I like this section. Freaking gas in it, some cool little bumps and jumps and stuff. One of the times I was going here whenever, I think I had Booster behind me or sometime around that, but there's a rock there. I was off the track just a tiny bit. Oh, maybe a softball-sized rock, but it's on top of the ground. It's one of those ones where you can hit and, you know, send you off flying. So I like turn to avoid it, go into the bushes a little bit, and I was just having like a deja vu of, oh boy, I hope I don't hit something else and fall, you know, something I can't see. But I just went through the edge of the bush and it was all good. Camera wipe for you guys. I think from the top of my head, it was about a 6-mile course today, and I have to look at the end of the video. I might have did 5 or 6 laps, and then there's a couple people, like the guy right above me who placed 16th. He did 1 extra lap and only got 1 spot ahead of me, so I did 2 hours even. And with this race format change, it really made it where you're not really racing, or I'm not really racing a 2-hour race anymore. It's almost like 2.5 hours. I think the guy above me did 2 hours and 45 minutes. So we're almost getting to that 3-hour old school class that we used to have. So hopefully this winter, you know, it's always my plan, is to go and freaking do a, you know, get in shape, lose some weight, get ready for next season, and come out better. Just, for someone who does no training, 0 training at all, and just kind of come out here and push it as hard as I can. 2 hours is what I got in me. I'm whooped after that. Usually don't do much the next day, that's for sure. I like that little jump right there. I never really jumped it too much, but I like the obstacle. And I like hitting logs straight on. And I definitely don't like the sliders that can throw you out and spin you out. Speed through here. My speed. Fast guys are like, that's the video. Like, ha! That's speed! That's me idling down the course. Ride it down. Yeah, I'm not shooting for points or anything, so while I always try. Is that Kyle? Yep, so there's Kyle Warren. YouTube, exactly, Kyle Warren. It's always funny whenever someone fast comes, like, you know, rolling up on you. You just see how quick they are. Look at this group right here. I'm not sure if they're all the same class, but they were definitely grouped together and battling it out. And I'm just like, they came, they're gone, and they're really gone. It's like I can gas my bike as quick as I want to go, but they still disappear into the wind. Time to hold this bike from the other hand. Oh my gosh. My hand's still numb. Oh boy. Coming up on 28, 29 minutes. We'll see who the hardcore pony fans are. Or pony watchers. I'll say fans. You made it this long. Double kudos to you. I like this area. This is that one nice little flow. Some of those, man, I'll tell you, I did hit some hard spots though, crossing some of those old paths. Really glad I had the suspension on this bike today. Bike ran great, no complaint. Oh, I should not say no complaints. I did stall it out maybe, I'm gonna guess 3 or 4 times with the Recluse. I just gotta, I'm gonna put some new clutches in it and readjust everything. Double check the measurements for the minimum thickness for the XP disc. And on that one video when I was talking about the pieces coming out of the EXP and I couldn't think of the name, they're called wedges. So as far as like grip, the clutch worked great. It's just every now and then whenever I like just slam down the brakes really quick, that's whenever it wasn't kicking into the non-stall state. So I have to look into it a little bit more. Getting closer to the end of the season. Going to, not no promises, I think I'm going to make it to the Sprint Euro next weekend at Battle Creek. Just kind of like one last Rob racing. Because I don't think there's any scheduled races after that. Could be wrong, but that's what's coming to mind. I always felt like I could get more speed going through here, but then I was always like thinking something was gonna pop out, you know, like something that I missed, some random rock or something. This is probably the worst gas stop I've ever done because I normally don't ever do gas. So you know, most of the guys will go and put their can right over on the edge of the gas. See, I left the bike in gear and running because I wanted to just put it in gas and leave. And I was like on a hill or something, so the kickstand was kind of like putting the bike over. I was almost freaking losing it. Speaking of losing it, I was so exhausted by the end of the race that I got a little ramp I can ride my bike up onto the trailer, and I spilling gas. Freaking dumped the bike on the end of the rail. Oh my god, I'm so tired. It was such a simple mistake, which whenever you're that exhausted, it can be easy like that. On the bright note, besides for a couple like turn slide outs, just from, you know, the really soft dirt stuff, didn't have any bad falls, you know. Golly, that's a good thing for me. Felt great on the 200 though. Oh my gosh. This suspension, oh, yep, see, look at that. Just like jinxed myself in the video. It's a little slide out. I did drop the forks like at least another 5 millimeters, so they might be close to 15 millimeters lower than the top of the fork cap because of the rear end being lower down. There's my gummy bear eating man. He's looking behind me. You coming? You coming? He's gonna lay on the heat for me so he can beat me in the dust. He came, he gone. I love the flyby ponies. You say it so quick and you leave so quick. I'm just like, dang, who was that?
I bet he let me pass me. Pass him.
Yeah, we're getting in the booster elements. Titan single and tight. That's where he shines. That's where he likes. Those Christmas trees. Oh my gosh! Freaking! I had a couple of them where I was turning and I wanted to put out my leg, but I didn't want my leg to get caught on the tree, like rip my leg back or rip me off the bike. So I had a couple turns that were like that one going through. I had to be a little careful, but it's fun. Great course. No complaints at all. Guys in Portland always do a good job. I mean, everyone does a good job. Shouldn't be so hard sometimes on small details. We're all out to have fun, and that's all that matters. He like did a slide out, step up, and spin out. Gotta work on these corners. Stay in that freaking groove and gas it. Slide out really quick. you haven't seen my cat and mouse video with Booster, I seen him like way off in the distance, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try catching up, and
And I stall.
this is where I stall out. Then he hits me from behind. He's like, yeah, I meant to hit you. That's a good thing with friends. You can freaking mess around. Ooh, I think this is where I hit the rock. Or avoid the rock. Wow!
Tony, let's go, buddy!
Yep, back to 002.
Shit!
Whoa! I don't even know what bike he ended up getting. I'm gonna guess a 250 because I think he rode 250 before. Yeah, he did. So, I'm gonna have to get with them. Coming up to scoring results. I'm up there. Jeff Carroll, 123, aka 418. Burp, burp, burp. Thanks for watching. That's it. Till the next video.